And really, I'll start off with the first question, which was kind of similar to everyone else's. What does the legacy of Black Muslims in the U.S. mean to you?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm going to first say that, alhamdulillah, rabbil alameen. Actually, we're driving now. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the best I can. But I want to say that I am grateful to Allah the Almighty to be a Muslim. And we had a lot of Muslims, alhamdulillah, in our area. And you know that many of us came from different traditions. I came from the same tradition as my brother Malcolm X, Al-Hajj Malik Shabazz, Muhammad Ali, Imam Warithuddin Muhammad. So I came from that tradition, and it was very, very happy to be a Muslim, grateful to be a Muslim. And I think that Muslims ought to be patient with the various brothers and sisters who come to Islam in many different ways. In the end, we end up the same way. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you. Jazakallah khair for that. Jazakallah khair for that. And
you know, you look very good, man. Alhamdulillah. I haven't seen a black beard like that, and I can't remember how long.
You know, it took me a little bit to grow it out. You know, I'm trying to catch up to you, alhamdulillah. But one thing that we love about you, Imam, and a lot of the times that you share your words is the history that you share with us, just like you just did. And really, I feel like as a historian, you can share a lot of the stories better than most of us can, or really any of us can, even as our Amir, in the work that you've done. Tonight, we would love to hear from you a little bit more about your life, your story, and your experience as not only a leading Black Muslim, but a regular, just a Muslim leader in America.
Yeah. The thing is, and that's why I'm trying to highlight this, I'm saying this for a particular reason, that in 1975, with the death of Mr. Elijah Muhammad, his son Imam Warithuddin Muhammad took over and introduced to us what you call the Sunnah. And it was a nice transition. And I can say that I think people ought to appreciate the Nation of Islam where they came from. Because you think about it, the people that I named, Malcolm Al-Hajj Malik Shabazz, one of the most beloved of our leaders. Muhammad Ali, the same way. Muhammad Ali, I had the privilege of being with him. I know him. You know, we hung out together, and he's a funny guy. Muhammad Ali, funny guy, right? He's on a plane one day, and the flight attendant said, "Mr. Muhammad Ali, please put on your seatbelt. Man don't need no seatbelt." And she said, "Superman don't need no plane." So he put on his seatbelt. So when you look at him, beloved, when you look at Malcolm, beloved, when you look at Imam Warithuddin Muhammad, beloved, when you look at Imam, because of the experience that we had, having been Black and at the same time then becoming Muslim. And one thing that Martin Luther King Jr. said, one of my beloved, he said, "He who gets behind in a race must forever remain behind or run faster than the man up front." So when you start studying the history of African Americans, I don't think many people could have handled it, and could all the things that we have suffered from, you couldn't even imagine. If I gave you some of the tests, for instance, Black people had to take a test, a literacy test, before they could vote. And in fact, Sheikh, I'm going to give you one of the questions. If you answer it right, I give you $1,000 right now. Are you ready? This is one of the questions, right? Sorry. How many bubbles in a bar of soap?
Oh, dang. Is that a trick question?
Of course it's a trick question. Yeah. You can't answer that question. And seeing it was things like that. It was, you ever hear reckless eyeballing?
Well, maybe not in the same terms that,
well,
maybe not in the same terms.
There was a time that a Black person Black man couldn't look at a white woman.
Yeah.
You can get lynched, serious. You go to jail, you can get lynched, you can get beat. And if people understood the circumstances that Black people found themselves in, and you would thank Allah if any of them became Muslim. Really, it's a big test. And I'm happy again, I'm just so happy to be a Muslim. Allah is great. I bear witness to no God but Allah, and Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, is his messenger. But I would like to see Muslims share this message with the rest of the our people as well. It's a wonderful message, and it will transform us for real, as it did 40, 50, 60 years ago.
MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair. And I have one final question.
Yes, sir.
You know, I was watching, I don't know if a lot of people have watched this because I know it's a little Hollywood, but I was watching The Godfather of Harlem. And it was a show about Bumpy Johnson and like you said, our brother Malcolm and the work that they did to combat drug addiction in Harlem. And it actually reminded me of the work that you did, you know, in Brooklyn when you were combating the same kind of drug addiction and the drugs that were on the street. And I feel kind of just like my beloved brother, Mark Crane had mentioned, I feel as though a lot of this work and a lot of the Muslim community has kind of disconnected from this type of work that's, you know, really grassroots in the streets. And as organizers, because many of us on the call as well are organizers, are active in our work, how would you kind of approach being able to connect with other community members to get them to act in some of the same ways?
It's not easy. It's not easy. I'm letting you know now that it's not easy. It takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication. We had brothers in our community, committed brothers. Some brothers from our community have been in prison, just like Malcolm was, and a lot of other people that came out of prison, and that means that they weren't scared. So we had brothers who studied martial arts. I don't recommend everybody to do that. We had brothers who studied martial arts. We had brothers on the correction officers, for instance, in our community. So we worked together. We worked together with authorities, and then the people knew us. They know that we loved them, that we weren't trying to be police, but we were trying to say, man, you can't do that. You can't sell these drugs here. In all of our community, many of our communities are being destroyed. And I want to leave you with a tradition, but I think it's very important for Muslims to understand. The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, taught us that there was a man one day, he went out to give sadaqah. He wanted to give charity to someone. So late at night, he put charity in the hand of someone, and he didn't know who they were. And the implication is that it was a lot of money. So the next day he heard that he gave that money to a thief. And he said, oh, Allah, I didn't mean to give it to a thief. So he went out again the next day and gave money to a prostitute. And he said, oh, because people started talking. He said, oh, no, I didn't mean to do it. He went out the third day and gave it to a rich person. So Allah revealed to him that perhaps the money you gave to the thief now will help him stop being a thief. And the money you gave to the prostitute will help her stop being a prostitute. And the money you gave to a rich man may be seen as an example. And I'm saying there are conditions. There are a lot of conditions that our people are suffering from, and that we have to deal with those conditions. We can't just beat them up. And we have to do it with love and respect and kindness and wisdom. So this is what I'm saying, that I see now our job is to go out there and talk to the people. I've talked to brothers in our community. We want to go out. I told, let's go out. You know, when I was in the days of the Nation of Islam, I used to knock on people's door. Thousands of people, thousands of doors I knocked on, and I'm trying to, engage them in the Islam. And alhamdulillah, many of them came to the masjid, they came to the temple. So I'm saying that we need to get back, grassroots. We need to get back in the street and let the people see us and let the people know that we're concerned, because we are concerned.
Jazakallah khair, Imam. Thank you again for joining us. I love you, as we all
not
do.
Like I love you. Not like I love you.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you,
I must also give my salam.
Assalamu alaikum, mashallah.
Assalamu
Take care of yourself. Wa alaikum salam.
So much for being with us. We appreciate you.
All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so very much.
All right.